Okay, remember, if you have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat or just use the hand raise feature and I'll answer whenever I can. All right. Agenda for this workshop. We're going to go over resources, navigation, accessing course content, discussions, submitting assignments, accessing your safe assign originality reports. What if I submit a mistake or a wrong assignment by mistake? Past due assignments. We'll go over grades and feedback using the mobile app and question and answer at the end. One takeaway I want to let you guys know for this is just to be aware is overall the difference here between this version of Blackboard, Blackboard Ultra, and the previous version is there's not too much of a difference. I mean, there is. It's not so significant that it should throw you completely off mark. There have been some challenges with students thus far. The one thing I want to encourage you to do, if you do have any questions, if you do have any challenges you run across, for example, you're trying to submit a paper, it's not submitting, that kind of thing, I want you to reach out to the IT number, and I will make sure I post that in the chat before we complete, just so you guys have access to that. That's the best way to do that. And they'll be able to generate a ticket and get you started to be able to help you out. Okay, so just a heads up there. All right. Resources. How to get a hold of resources here. Click the link to access the Blackboard Help Center. Quick Start Guide. The number I was talking about before, Post University's IT Help Desk, 888-458-POST or 7678. And student guides are available in the Blackboard course shell under course content. We'll feature these videos throughout the workshop for you guys, just so you know. So just follow along. You'll be able to see those. And you see here the Blackboard Ultra Quick Start Guide for students. And we'll be walking you through all these. Okay. Navigating and accessing course content. This obviously is a bread and butter with working with Blackboard. To navigate within Blackboard, for Ultra, use the links in the course menu on the left of the Blackboard site called the Ultra Base Navigation. Nice fancy name. And within your courses. The main Blackboard Ultra Base Navigation will let you access your Blackboard account information, activities related to your courses, activity stream, your courses, and of course, and your course grades as well. Okay, so this is where you can find all those important things that are necessary to you for managing your student experience. And of course, just a little caveat too, I know we do have at least one instructor here. You guys will also see similar settings for you. Just know that you'll probably have some different ones as I would, that you may have ones for indigenous to instructors, okay? Once in your course, note that Ultra Course View, there are two navigation areas. The first one you're going to see the course menu is along the top of the page. So you have content, calendar, discussion, gradebook messages, and you see the listings there for the Blackboard, for the course menu up at the top there. So just keep in mind that's where that's located. The detail and actions panel is at the right-hand side of the page. So you have things like roster and books and tools. Those items are going to be located there. So let's watch a little video here to give you guys a little walkthrough in navigating inside a course in Blackboard Ultra. Me a favor, someone give me a thumbs up. They can hear that. Just hit the thumbs up reaction, or just quickly give me a heads up. That'd be great. Okay, great. I see you. Okay. probably take myself off mute. As you guys can see there, it's different in terms of how the layout is, but the functionality is pretty much the same for those of you that have used Blackboard previous incarnations. For those of you brand new to it, you're probably seeing it. If you've used another LMS in the past, you'll probably notice it operates fairly similarly, just different in terms of how they execute the functions that you're looking for. So in this case, we just have a couple of different areas in which you can access some different components to it. So that's really the big take home there is just being able to navigate and see where the functionality lies for what you're looking for. So I would recommend rather than just if you can, obviously we're in week 2, but if you've started doing work and you still don't feel totally comfortable with things in navigation, my suggestion to you is maybe take a little opportunity to not really focus on work for maybe about 20 minutes, half an hour, but just take a little opportunity to navigate through the format and just get used to where things are with Ultra. Okay, again, nothing earth-shatteringly different for those of you guys that have used Blackboard before, but there's some functional differences. So you just want to make sure you take a glimpse in there and get used to it while you're starting to work on your coursework, of course. Discussion boards. Everybody knows that's really the key component, really, or one of the key components of your courses in terms of being able to validate your workload. So on the course menu, you'll see there's a discussions link on there. And then that will take you to the discussions area. That's one way of accessing it also. And then on the discussion board page, you click the name of the forum, and that will take you to where you're looking for. You also know too, guys, just a reminder that you can also, if you click on the unit itself, that's going to take you to the discussion boards and where they are. Okay. Now, let me just back up real quick here. Important to remember, if you're on the page and you click on the form, you click on the unit, discussion boards are typically below the course content or the content for the unit, like the reading and stuff like that. And you usually have the course, the discussion board area below that. We'll get into the assignment area next, but just a heads up in terms of where that stuff will be located within the unit. The response area will provide you with a space to add your discussion posts, and if any, and it will list any posts that have already been made by your classmates and or the instructors, right? So you're going to see the threads as they're happening in real time, not really real time, but asynchronously as they're posted by anybody else in your forum, okay? On the post response to the discussion, include your discussion board response. Use the content editor to add additional resources. For example, you can add a Kaltura video. Some of you will be required to do that for some of your courses. For those of you that have used Kaltura video as part of Blackboard in the past, in this case, you're going to click Content Market to access the Kaltura Media Center. And then once you're done and you're ready to submit your assignments, you see at the bottom right there, you click Post, and it will post your discussion board response. Okay, so that's pretty much how that will work. All right, we're going to go ahead and have the video for this. Right, so that last part can be helpful if you're in a conversation, a threaded discussion with somebody regarding a particular topic, and you want to find their update and see if they replied to your latest update. That can be why you might look up certain classmates there. Just one example. But again, the takeaway there is you can look through you can look through the discussion boards through two ways. You can go through by clicking on the discussions panel, and that will take you to the discussions for the course, list them, and you pick the correct one. Or as I mentioned previously, you can go through the actual content for the unit and be able to pull the discussion from there. Okay. Now, as we mentioned previously, submitting assignments, this is a little bit of a change from before. So I would say a good thing here you're going to mention is you're going to look at the content tab, and that's where you're going to find and click on the assignment name from there. But I do want to point out again, just like previously with the previous incarnations of Blackboard, your assignment for the course or for the week is typically at the bottom of the course, right? So, or the bottom of the everything below the discussion boards, okay? So if you see where the arrow is here, the orange arrow, that's the discussion board right above that, and then right below that where the arrow is pointing to, that's the assignment. So the assignment is typically the last part of each unit's work. Okay, so just so you know, a little familiarity there. Click view instructions and then type your response in the submissions section. You can use the content edit area here as well. Or click browse my computer and select the file to attach, and then press the submit button. So something to note there, you may have certain assignments that may have a prompt where you may be replying to other classmates or looking at others of your colleagues' submissions as part of your submission for your assignment. So just be aware of that. If that's the case, and you use it, pretty much it behaves like a discussion board where you're putting in your response there. But 95 times out of 100, you will be submitting more than likely an attachment, a file attached. So wherever that file is, whether it's a Word document, an Excel file, etc., browse your computer and it will allow you to select the file you want to attach, click it, and then once you click on it and you attach it, you'll press the submit button. And just like before, that's how you're going to capture that assignment, be able to submit it. Now, once you've done that, a successful message is going to appear confirming that your submission was successful. When you finish your assignment, click submit again, just a reminder, and that will be where it's going to be. So you're going to see the message will pop up here. Your submission was successful, as you see, and then that's how you know that you were successful in submitting the assignment. Okay. Now, what do you do if you submit the wrong assignment by mistake? Okay, this is a typical problem for students. For those of you that know, one of the things I do here in terms of our work is we work with students with technology and trying to get them up to speed with it. One of the things we go over in our technology workshop is the importance of file management. My suggestion to you, kind of off topic here, is if you're organizing your files by class and by assignment by week, you will have a much easier time in terms of keeping your files organized so that you don't submit the wrong assignment. But we're all human, it happens. I've done it before, so I don't want to certainly absolve myself of that. It's embarrassing. But what you should do if you submitted a wrong assignment, if your instructor is not allowing multiple attempts to submit an assignment, you want to make sure you contact them and ask for the opportunity to resubmit your work. They'll be able to clear your attempt so you can submit it again. Okay. So if that's a problem, that you could do that. Usually, sometimes you may be able to submit multiple attempts. I have instructed classes before where students were allowed to submit multiple times. If they submitted the wrong assignment, that's fine. But if you're not able to, just check with your instructor and see if they can release it for you so you can go ahead and clear it and then submit the assignment again. Now, what do you do if your assignment is past due? And how do you know if it's past due? And you want to see what's past due and what you need to do right away, right? So the part here, it says important. Any past due assignments will be shown on both your activity stream and within the assignment itself, okay? Your activity stream. And you see here, the past due assignment is your Unit 2 assignment, Digital Marketing Plan for Green Harvest Organics. that's over too. It says past due right there. So you then know that should be a priority for you for either trying to submit the assignment now, or if you're unable to do so, contacting your faculty and seeing if you can get some assistance here. I apologize, these are a little hazy here, but just to let you know, this is another area where you can find it as well. You do have the area here for the description. You have the details for the assignments, and in this case, under the assignment detail on the left here, it does say past due. And you also can find it under grades and attempts. So we'll talk about grades and where those are located in a few minutes, but this is an opportunity for you to go ahead and check. And if you look under your grade, it says your assignment is late. So it will tell you there as well. So there's plenty of places to find out where your assignments are late and where you need to get caught up, okay? We're going to play this video, and then we're going to go into another one, which I'll talk about in a couple minutes. I believe Safe Assign is next, so I'll go into that once we're done watching this video. Okay, now before we click on this video, we're going to talk a minute about Safe Assign reports. Safe Assign reports are kept for students, and what these do is these are your originality reports for your papers, okay? So what they do is basically they're designed to avoid students from committing unintentional plagiarism, okay? And what I mean by that is, right, you step away from your computer, you do some, you're doing work, you're submitting a passage and you don't have it properly attributed. So you step away, you have children to take care of, you come back to the computer, you forget you did it, you finish your paper up and you submit it without doing it, okay? This is a way designed to help you avoid that and hopefully to double check your paperwork. Grammarly is certainly a wonderful source to help with that. What this does now is this is a little different in that this is going to help faculty also just check originality of your paperwork, so or the work you're submitting. So very important to make sure that you're keeping up with your submissions and that you're not submitting work that's someone else's without proper attribution, okay? So just make sure that you're doing your best with that. But the Safe Assign Originality Report will basically give a readout for faculty and for students as well to review to see what level of originality is in their paper. It's given a percentage. And if you have any questions with that, I would suggest you reach out to your instructor because certain instructors may have different levels in terms of what their expectations are based on the assignment or the course itself. I don't want to speak for any instructor in terms of what's appropriate. So if you do have questions in terms of what percentage of your paper can be quote unquote unoriginal in the sense that it's paraphrased or in the sense that it's quotes or whatever, that's up to you and your instructor. They may have some directive for that. But I just want to let you know this is going to be a Safe Assign Originality report for you after submitting a paper in your course. So the reports are pretty cool in the level of sophistication in terms of what you can do to kind of use it to gauge your own coursework too. So if you use the Safe Assign Originality Report as a means of keeping yourself on track with your submissions, they can be very helpful to you. And you can use them to, to keep track of what you're submitting, how your work is, the quality of your work, and maybe it's an opportunity for you to make some changes somewhere in there, or use it as a way of saying, you know what, maybe I'm not doing too bad after all. So the Safe Assign reports are there to protect you from unintended plagiarism, but also an opportunity for you um, to see where you can make some improvements too. Okay, so just some thought there. Um, Grades and feedback. Obviously, you want to know how you're doing in your course, right? You don't want to just be blindly submitting work and not have an idea of what's going on. So grades are very important. Okay. You can see the grades using any of the following methods. We'll go to method one first. You can view grades and feedback on the assignment or the test itself. You can navigate to the assignment or test and click on it just as you did when you were drafting it for submission. Okay, if a grade has been entered and posted for any of your attempts, you will see the grade displayed. If feedback has been added, you will see a purple icon. So the purple icon is where you note that there is feedback that has been submitted by the faculty. If you click on the icon, you will then be able to read any feedback. Okay, so regarding wherever your grade, where your attempt was made when you were drafting your submission, and you see where everything is, it's basically right next to it. You'll see the grade there, and you'll see the feedback right after that. Method two, viewing grades and feedback in the course gradebook. Just like previous iterations of Blackboard, you do have the gradebook continues and will kind of continue along just as before with only a few changes aesthetically. When you open a course, you will click on the gradebook. If the grade has been entered and posted, you will see the grade displayed. If you click on view, then you'll be able to read any feedback and view more details regarding your grade. So you see here, you have the grade book, and just like before too, you have the grade there, and you also have by clicking view, you'll then be able to see the feedback as well if any feedback is listed there from the faculty. Okay, we're gonna do a couple of videos of grades real quick just to help you out with this. So we'll start with checking grades. Okay, for this portion here, we're going to do the test review and feedback just to show you the feedback portion a little bit as well. Okay, so again, the takeaway from there is yes, you still have the opportunity to check your grades almost as you did previously, not a huge difference. But I do want to let you guys know we did want to show you a couple of the changes that were made there, just to give you a heads up on being able to help you out. Okay. But again, very important part of your coursework is checking your grades, being able to monitor that, and of course, feedback from your faculty as well. Using the mobile app, this is a significant change, and I'll explain why in a second. As I mentioned to people previously, the mobile app was going to be getting a little bit of a refresh in terms of how the functionality works and being able to be, I think, much better front-facing for student experience, be able to do work, and also faculty too. I haven't had a chance to see it yet because, again, my course that I'm teaching right now is still in the original Blackboard, not an Ultra. I'm getting an Ultra upgrade. I think probably if I teach a course over the summer. Now, students can just give you guys an idea, not a whole lot of changing in terms of what the best capabilities with it are, but in terms of how it looks and in terms of being able to recreate that process of seeing, basically being able to recreate the process of seeing things um, from the computer on your phone or tablet device. Okay. Students can view course materials, assignments, grades, and announcements from their phone without needing a computer. This is great. Students can submit assignments, check due dates, and track progress on the go. Push notification alerts will tell students about new grades, upcoming deadlines, and instructor announcements. The scenario I always give is you're waiting in the doctor's office or Department of Motor Vehicles, and you got 15, 20 minutes to kill waiting for your name to be called. Um, Great opportunity there to maybe step in and do some coursework. Maybe you can do some reading through the app. Maybe you can do you could check your grades. You can send messages to your instructors. You can also even respond to a discussion board. So the opportunities for you are fairly good, and you can use it in a way that is intuitive and feels like you're actually using your computer. That's really what the updates in mobile app are. So these are pretty good. So if you can and if you want to download, I highly recommend you do and be able to access the mobile app through your phone or tablet device. I think it's great and very worthwhile. The only caveat I have here is unfortunately the folks at Anthology Blackboard's parent company did not provide us with a video for it, which is somewhat understandable because there's so many different mobile apps and mobile platforms and devices they'd have to make concessions for. So very difficult to do. So what I did is basically just gave you a walkthrough in terms of how to access the mobile app. The important part here is installing and logging in using the app. So I will tell you that if you are an iPhone user like me, go to the App Store. And if you're an Android user, you go to the Google Play Store, and that will help you out. Okay. You may have to type in and do a search for Blackboard. And when you do get there, you want to install the Blackboard. I believe it's called Blackboard Learn on your mobile device. So you make sure you put that in there. And when you do, you'll see an app that looks similar to this. This says Learn. What I've actually found is the app updated is now is basically the Anthology logo. It's basically an A that looks like an upside down V without a slash in the middle. Let me see if I can hold it up for you guys so you guys can check it out. Let me just get to my app real quick. And if I can show you what it looks like, hopefully my view is big enough here. But this is, let's see, try and get the lighting right. Back up for a second. Yeah, this isn't as successful as it was yesterday, probably because it's darker and the lighting's a little different. Let me shut down the light a bit and see if that helps. Okay, if you guys can see me in the corner here, there's a little, yeah, there it is, second row. Let me back up just a bit so we can see it. I had it. If you see me in the bottom of the screen there to the right-hand side, it is in the second row there, you should see there's oh man. Okay, there's an A. Basically, it's an A without a slash in the middle. That's what it looks like. So when you type in Blackboard, that's basically what it's going to look like. It's right here where my finger is, my middle finger right there. That's what the app is going to look like right there. Okay. Um, so when you download it, or when you go to the App Store, the appropriate App Store, you'll be able to see it. And this gives you instructions on how to do it. Now, what you're going to need to remember is when you open it, it's going to ask you for your institution's name. So you're going to do a search in there for Post University. And when you get to Post University, you'll be able to log in and you're going to use your username and password you may have used previously with Blackboard, your credentials, such as I think what you're, for the majority of you that are students, can be your first name dot last name at students.post.edu. So maybe just first name, you put in that information in there, your email, and then you put in your password, and you should be able to use it. Now, for those of you that have used our programs in the mobile app, you probably have have used the mobile authenticator. That is an app that you can download through through the App Store again or the Google Play. But that is a Microsoft Office app. It's called Authenticator. And what it does is it is basically a way of tracking and securing your account. So it may ask you, it may give you a number, and then you have to go to your phone, and then you have to go to your phone and you type in the number in the app, and then it will open the app for you. So this is like an added level of security. Authenticators are becoming more and more the way of the world. So you may have used one before, but if you haven't, it's fairly easy to use once you get used to it. You may also have to use the authenticator logging in from your computer. I know I do sometimes. I had to do it this morning before I taught my class. So just a heads up, you will likely have to use an authenticator as well. So you basically use the same details there. You'll use your post-university login ID to get in there. And then this basically just goes through as well how to set up multi-factor authentication. Again, you will do that through the apps that we have. Okay. That's really all I have. I know we went through a lot of ground, covered a lot of ground in a short period of time, but this is just to give you guys a little taste in terms of how to access and how to use the Blackboard Ultra for those of you guys that have it. We had a question here from Melina. When does Blackboard Ultra start? You may already be using it. You should already be using it in your courses if you're here and you saw an announcement for your instructor. That means you're probably using it already. So if you're able to navigate and having a chance to, you should be able to do that. What if there are no instructions for the assignment? I have some that don't have any instructions. They just say submit the assignment. Okay, great question. What I would do if I were you there, Aubrey Joy, is I would reach out to your instructor and just say, hey, can you confirm if you have any questions? And I don't know if there's a rubric for it or anything like that, or if there's anything like that that exists. I would check with your instructor if you have any questions for an assignment that is missing instructions. Okay. That's my best bet for you, because what that may mean is that may mean that that there's that part of the course was not uploaded for your assignment, and that may mean that they need to get that uploaded as quickly as possible. That should be rectified quickly if that's the case. If it's just an area that you're submitting something, that couldn't be another possibility. So I'm not 100% sure if that's the case, but it sounds to me like they might just not have had that loaded on there. And maybe it's just that you're not able to see it because it's not loaded in there yet. So that's what I would do. I would let your instructor know as soon as possible. For those of you that have questions, where to locate your instructor's contact information. Okay, all rubrics are identical and I've reached out to them. Do you mean identical like they all look the same? Like it's almost as like it's for the same assignment? Okay, if you reach out to them, that's good. Okay, yeah, wow. Okay. That may be a problem with how the course loaded. So my suggestion again, in fact, Aubrey, why don't you do me a favor, Aubrey? Can you put the course and the section number, course number and section number in there? Yeah, let's talk offline. Do me a favor. Let's do that. I'm going to I'll if you could put your email and the course and section number, I'm going to reach out and see if we can get an answer for you with this. Because that may absolutely be the case. So if you could just send your email and the course and section number, I'll try and locate your advisor and we'll see if we can locate the faculty and see what we can do to expedite this. Because again, that sounds like that may be an issue we need to rectify right away, because that may be something they're not aware of. Okay, great question. Okay, fantastic. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I'll contact you offline. I may CC your, okay, you told your advisor too. Good. Okay, so then we're on the right track. Okay. I'm gonna kind of get an added reinforcement, just send the advisor and I'll copy you on the email just to let you know that you're aware that we're doing something about it, or at the very least, we've done some outreach, and hopefully we'll be able to get a quick answer for you so you're not hanging out there wondering what's going on. So thank you for letting me know. Excellent. Thank you, Aubrey. Okay. See if we have any other questions from anybody. I hope you guys found this training useful. Again, I had training as a super user already back in like November, late November for the new iteration here at Blackboard Ultra. What's very unusual is I'm teaching it now and through this workshop, but the funny thing is I'm still using the old version. So it's kind of weird to me sometimes. I have to explain it and put on my hat to do this, and hopefully that I did a at least somewhat decent job of that because it's tough to remember, especially I'm going in and I'm using the old version of Blackboard for my class. So the objective is to have the entire school. I think what I've heard is that hopefully they will have it done, and by the time everybody comes back in the fall for main campus students, online students, everybody, they will be able to take care of that. Good question. Susan, you know what? I would say let's handle it on a case by case basis. I might make them aware of it. Just, alert them, just say, hey, heads up. We had a student in here that may have had a problem with that. Are you part of that program that we're talking about here for the course? But if you're concerned for your course, you're concerned for other courses in your program, and you want to contact your APM, I would say that's not a bad idea. You are the instructor. Oh, okay. Yes. So yeah, I would do that definitely. Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, definitely reach out and see what we can do. Yeah, sure. I would do that right away. That's a good idea, Susan. I'm looking now too. EDU instructing EDU 60 and I'm having difficulty with the group central one and wiki availability. Okay, so I'm looking further into your situation right now just to see if there's anything I'm missing. Group discussion formats and wiki availability. I'm going to say, yeah, reach out to your APM because I am not familiar with the group format, group discussions in terms of how you're doing that and what that looks like and availability for the wiki. I would say, yeah, reach out to them right away and see if they can help you out with that. So definitely do that. Yeah. Just making sure I'm following along there. Okay. Anyone else? Give you guys another minute or two and see if we have any other questions. Okay. And I wish you luck with that, Susan. Aubrey, I'll be in touch with you. We'll be able to take care of that. Okay, great. Wesker, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to allow your mic. Just give me 1 second and we'll let you ask your question. You can take yourself off mute when you're ready to ask your question.
Yeah, hi, thank you. I
Hi,
was
certainly.
typing it in. I was typing it in. I wasn't sure if you see that. My issue is like when I looking for discussions, like it tells me that I have unread discussions, and when I open the amount, like it might say a number of them, like 5. When I look for those unread discussions, I'm not able to see it or reply to those.
Okay. What may be happening now, I can't guarantee this because again, I don't see the format. Here's what I think may be happening. You may have it set so that you don't have unread as included. You see if there's a setting there that allows you to look at all responses or all replies or something. You may have it listed without that there. That's one suggestion I have. Another one is if you're looking in your so let me think. So I'm thinking you're looking in the discussion page, right? So if you're on the discussion page and that's where you're kind of seeing that stuff, right?
Yeah, also in
Okay.
the panel up there that has like, it has the grades, it has the content,
Yes.
the top portion, it says the discussions, and then it has like a little numbers in there, like 5, 6, whatever unread. So those I'm unable to see it.
Got you. Okay. Good, excellent question. And again, I can't tell initially with your particular area, but I'm going to do something for you here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get that number for you and see if we can have you contact IT and see if they can assist you to be able to see that. What I want to make sure too is I want to make sure, oh, hey, here's something from Aubrey. You have to scroll through them to see it in purple. Aubrey, I'm gonna have you take your mic off too and see if you can explain that a little better. Let me do that real quick. I'll let you come off mic or come off mute. Go ahead and come off mute when you're ready and see if you can respond here while I go ahead and put the number in the
Okay,
chat.
so what you do is you click on discussion and then you click on wherever you see the purple circle. Like it could be like my week 1 introduction or the group discussion board or whichever one it is. And you click on that. And then when you scroll down, you'll see where it's like highlighted in purple. And that's the new one. It'll even say new next to it. And sometimes you have to add the drop down arrow to see what replies are, because replies will also show up on that discussion.
Okay, great. Thank you. I done that. And I was trying to reply back to that. But you know, we Aubrey and I we are in the same class. So like
Oh,
we
good.
are taking the same, so we having the same issue. Like that other issue
Okay.
that she's saying to also, it's I'm not sure if it's like the layout of that class is like that.
Might be a problem with that. Here's my suggestion. First of all, in this case, if I suggest, I might suggest if you're both having a similar problem, you may want to reach out to the instructor again and see if that can be rectified. But in fact, Aubrey, I may include that. I may include what Oscar is talking about here. But my more important part here too is I put in the chat to the IT help desk. If you're having a problem with something functional like that, call them and see if they can walk you through it or see if they're able to maybe at the very least ticket it. If it's something that's on your end and you're just not seeing it, they may be able to help you with that. So just a suggestion there. So I gave you the number too, but I will try and include that to Aubrey in our email that we're going to send forward. Okay.
Sounds good.
Great. Thank you.